You're listening to the Handcrafted Therapy podcast with massage therapist and business owner, Julie Alexander. That's me. I'm your host. I've been a massage therapist for 17 years, and I have a business marketing degree. On this podcast, we'll be interviewing industry professionals that can talk to us about how to run your business better, how to be a better massage therapist overall, and how to take care of yourself and give yourself a little love, a little self-care, little grace in your life. I am so glad that you're here. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining me on today's podcast. I will not be interviewing anyone, as today I will be sharing some things that have helped me along my journey. And this is already take 4 because it's easier to interview somebody else and them talk about their journey and what they've learned than to share my own personal journey. I have a spa in Plano, Texas called Handcrafted Therapy. And that started 7 years ago in a wellness center. And then I moved and expanded into my own place. And that's where I'm at now, serving my clients as a massage therapist. I'm getting ready to open a massage supply and training center with a focus on self-care. That's been a big journey. It's not over. We're still in the process of getting that up and running. We're hopefully, I'm going to be open by spring, March, April timeframe. We're really excited. Being a business owner is not for the faint of heart. It can be really challenging at times. And I love surrounding myself with people who are just as passionate and excited about my vision as I am. And sometimes those are the people that I need to help remind me of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because there's going to be times where you're going to want to quit. And that's easy. Quitting's easy. Taking the easy way out is easier. But, if this is something you really want to do and you want to start your business and you're passionate about it, continue to listen to me. If you don't think this is what you want to do, then maybe move on to the next episode. But this one's about being a business owner, a solo business owner, not in a partnership. You own the business. It's just you. All of the things around your business lie on your shoulders. Paying the bills, taking out the trash, marketing, finances, payroll, taxes, laundry. It all falls on you. And it's scary and it's complicated. And there's a lot of learning to do because none of us are good at everything. You're probably a really great massage therapist if you're wanting to start your own business, but your mindset. Let's talk about your mindset when you're looking at having your own business. And a lot of us have already been in process for a while, struggle with this on a daily basis, which is finding the courage to move to the next level, finding the courage to keep going, even though big, major pitfalls happen. You might be down to your last dollar in your bank account and you just need to work your little ass off to get out of debt. Or, you might have kids to provide for or whatever other stressful things in your life are happening that may bring down to your world. Surround yourself with beautiful, loving, encouraging people. They're out there, whether it's your family or your friends, your colleagues, people that can understand what you're going through. Maybe it's participating in events with the American Massage Therapy Association or going to a massage class or going to the other trade shows, the World Massage Festival. Those are really good places to find people that are like-minded, like us, that help support each other. One of the very first experiences I had as a massage therapist was immediately signed up for the national convention for the American Massage Therapy Association. And I was under the impression at that time that massage therapy was an easy job to do. Oh, this will be so much easier than a corporate job. And, massage therapists, we're not really professionals. We're those massage people. Well, I was really, really wrong. And what was cool about this particular event was that I remember looking over the trade show floor and seeing all the professionals in my industry and seeing that it was a professional organization that promoted ethics and promoted your moral. And it wasn't just a bunch of people rubbing on other people. It made me emotional. I was really excited to be a part of this bigger community of professionals. And I want you to know that they're out there. There are people out there like us, like minded professional massage therapists that can help each other out. And this is what really this podcast and my sword training center is all about, helping other massage therapists achieve their goals, whatever they may be. I don't know if any of you watch comedy. I watch comedy all the time, but I'm going to quote somebody here. And it's kind of the mentality that you have to pick and choose who your supporters are. And if people in your life, whether they're friends, family, parents, or if they don't support you and they're giving you bad advice, like, why would you ever do that? It's easier to work for a company, easier to get a regular paycheck. Why don't you just go work for somebody else, like a normal person? Taylor Tomlinson, the comedian, would say, well, why don't they just go fuck themselves? Because we don't need that negativity in our life. You're good at what you do. And you have a passion for this. You have an idea. You have a business idea, a business plan, hopefully. The more you plan, the less risk you feel like you're going to be taking. And the more confident you can feel about going into your business. And there are definitely some resources out there besides having a good support system. The cheerleader, the you can do it kind of people. We need those. But the second part of that is to find people to help you uncover the opportunities for you to learn. So one of my weaknesses is accounting and financial management. So I seeked out somebody to help me with that. Actually, more than one person to help me with that. One of them is my SCORE mentor. So the chambers of commerce, usually in big metro areas, I don't know if they are exactly where you live or not, and I don't know where you live, but most chambers of commerce have what's called a SCORE mentor program, and it's completely free. What's cool about this program is that you can sign up. It's free. You get in contact with people they're usually retired people that have built businesses, successful businesses in the past, and want to help new entrepreneurs become successful. So I signed up for SCORE mentor program, and it was almost 3.5 years ago before the pandemic. And I've been with I got two SCORE mentors, which is awesome, that have helped me through my obstacles. And I've never been through this process before of opening up a retail store training center. And so it was nice to have people that have been down that journey before. They also have given me some really great advice. I still go to see them. It's about once every 6 weeks or so that I visit them, and we have a meeting and we talk about what stage of business we're in. And they ask me some of the hard questions, and it's not been easy. They've been hard questions. I mean, as a business owner, you're going to be faced with these hard questions from people that are trying to help you. And it's important that you take the time to learn and actually figure out the questions that they're asking you, because they're doing it for your own benefit. Because in the long run, these questions and answers are going to be what really fuels and helps your business thrive and become successful. As a business owner, it can be a little lonely and intimidating, especially when you don't know the answers to these questions. But ask questions back. What's your target market? That's a good one we talked about last time in the last episode with Erica. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't even know how to figure that out. Do you know somebody with their own business? And if you don't, maybe you should join the Chamber of Commerce in your area, start networking with them, ask them to go to coffee, buy them a coffee for breakfast. That's only, $4 or $5, depending on where you go. Buy them a coffee, just connect with other business owners. And most of us are willing and able to share our story and are really, really open to helping other people. Now, that's not the case with everybody, but for the most part, especially if they're with the Chamber of Commerce, they see the bigger picture in the community. There's also other Chamber of Commerce events that you can get involved with, like Leadership Plano. I went through Leadership Plano. I met so many wonderful people. I got to know the city manager. I met the chief of police, the chief of fire, or the fire chief. I met, people that are bigger influences in the community. And that's empowering when you know people because you know who to call for what. And sometimes that's the most important thing you can do is have a network of people that can help you when you need help. And you might not necessarily know who to call, but at least you have some people that you can start calling. Like when, for instance, I need to get a building permit from the city of Plano to start construction on my building for my store and training center. And we submitted the plans to the city and they got declined. Bummer. I know. I was thinking, man, my construction or my contractor didn't know what she was doing. Why did all this stuff come back? Why wasn't she prepared for this? Is it her fault? Well, come to find out, she was given some wrong information before she submitted the plan. So I called the person that I know in my Leadership Plano class and said, hey, this is what happened. Can you help me? Is this normal? Am I doing something wrong? Should we change our plan? What do I need to do? So she got me in contact with another person. I called them. They said, listen, everything you're doing is correct. The inspector you were given is a great person. She's been here for a long time. She knows what she's doing. If you have any questions, you can go directly to her for inspection questions. So sometimes it's a matter of just networking in your community to have those resources that help you through these hard questions. Now, many of you, when you're starting a massage business, or if you've had a massage business for a while, this is not an issue. You don't need to wait for permits to do big build out for your business. And that's okay because it's a big pay and it's expensive. But if you're just hitting the pavement trying to get your business going and to be successful, then let me tell you, I know it's sometimes can be a lonely road, but there are people like us that are working hard and we can help each other. Find people that are aligned in your industry. So chiropractors, these other massage therapists, other therapies. I actually just found a therapy I didn't even know anything about. It was called the Bowen therapy. One of my clients actually told me about it yesterday. So I looked it up. I found a practitioner in my area. I'm going to contact her, say, hey, my client really raved about you and I want to know more about your therapy. Maybe we can, refer patients to each other. Having an outgoing personality helped in this situation because it's a lot easier to be able to talk to strangers when you're an extrovert than when you're an introvert. But I would say whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, it is hard to pick up the phone or to go up to a stranger or to email somebody that you don't know. But just remember, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We've all made several mistakes, and don't be afraid to reach out to people. I mean, gosh, I'm hoping to reach out to Oprah and Ellen and Lizzo and anybody that is really set on wanting to promote self-care and mental health issues to help promote my store. And it's terrifying to think of getting a call from Oprah Winfrey, but how exciting would that be? I mean, super cool to be able to say Oprah's supporting my business. But I want to encourage everybody out there to think big. Think big about your business. You might not have the money, you might not have the time, but if you have the dream and you really think you want to stick to it and it's a good plan, continue to hone in on what the plan is and continue to pursue it and surround yourself with people who will help you reach your goals. I'm fortunate enough to have a very supporting husband in this endeavor. That's very important to have a spouse or a significant other that is supportive of your goals and dreams and ask you questions. They might be the hard questions again that you have to think about, but continue to just think about how you can make your dream work, how to make your business successful, and how to continually tell yourself it's going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. I've gone through 100% of the days that I've already gone through, and some of them were pretty shitty, but I've made it this far. And when I was completely doubting myself, like really doubting myself, I had a day of what the hell am I doing kind of a day. And I called one of the most pessimistic people in my life. And you're probably wondering, why would you do that? But the reason is because he gave me a different perspective on things. Her question was, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen in pursuing your dream? It can fail, right? And then you could get a business loan out. You owe more money than you had before and that stuff. But then you just go back to doing massage or doing a corporate job and, at least you tried. But that's the worst that could happen. That's really not that bad. And if you are passionate about successfully completing your dream, it'll happen for you. Just continue to push through. Continue to push through. With the pandemic, we've had so many challenges. And it's not over. We still continue to have challenges. I mean, it's January 2023, and I think about half of my massage appointments canceled last week due to illness, viruses, coronavirus, stomach viruses, colds, allergies, RSV, everything's going around right now. People are sick and it's going to happen. And I think one of the things as a business owner that's also really important to be, and just as a human being in this world, in this new world, is to be able to be adaptable to changes. So you might wake up in the morning and your house is flooded. You can't go to work. What are you going to do? Are you going to panic? Are you going to tell yourself it's going to be fine? You just call the plumber, get it fixed, cancel your massage appointment, move on with your life, right? You get it fixed. That's what you do. It's stressful. We might find out that our client is sick and they have a terminal illness, or one of our clients passed away, or one of our clients lost their son, or somebody had a car accident. The more you surround yourself with people, the more likely it is that those people are going to have issues that come around in their life. And, just as much as you may look to them for help, they might also look for you for help. And I truly believe that friendship and relationship, no matter what, are two-way streets. You can't be a taker without being a giver, and you can't be a giver without being a taker. So try to make it even, right? I mean, as a massage therapist, we do trades all the time. So, at least I do. I find a massage therapist. I want to get a massage from that person. I want to find out what their specialty is, how I can refer clients to them, and therefore I want to get a massage from them and do a trade. Now, if I feel like that trade is uneven, then I might not do that trade again. And that's okay. We have to be adaptable, though. We have to be adaptable, because if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's adaptability. Be able to adapt and change when things happen. Change your business model and business plans when you need to. And if you have a situation that comes up where you might not be able to afford the massage table that you want, for instance, or you might not be able to, I don't know, make rent that month. You scrap, you find a way to do it. You buy the cheaper table, or you find somebody's table to borrow until you can get a new one. You put the word out that you can do home visits for massage if if that's available to you. People appreciate hard work. And if they see and hear your story of your business and know that you're in it to help people, which most of us are, most massage therapists get into it for the love of the work to help people, because there's nothing better than that person getting off your table and saying, I am so thankful for you. You've helped me feel better. I'm out of pain. There's nothing better than that. That fuels my fire every day, and I know it fuels yours. Remember those things as you go through your trials and tribulations with your business. We talked about surrounding yourself with people that know more about things than you do. I have a great CPA. I have a great lawyer. They're friends of mine. I met with my lawyer through Leadership Plano. I met her through Leadership Plano. So I actually consider her a friend of mine, and I trust her implicitly. So that's another thing that's kind of an important part of being a business owner, is that when you have employees or contract workers or people like lawyers and CPAs, it's pretty important to be able to trust them. And if you're not able to do that, then you need to find somebody else. And I know it sucks because they might be your friend, or they might be cheap, or they might be available. But if it's not somebody you can trust, get them out of your circle, because there's no room for that in your life. Yeah. And be willing to be able to make changes to your plan. Because if you're stuck on something and it is not the right path for you, sometimes you're forced into that other path. So, it's kind of a fine line, and it's kind of really frustrating because you can have two different ways to go. Path A, for instance, might be having employees, and path B might be having renters. Which way do you go? Path A might give you more income, but it also comes with a lot more work, because you have to do payroll and deal with all of the things that employees come with: drama, being late, not providing enough, the best service for the client, managing an employee schedule. But path B might give you less income, but it might be a little easier on you. So I had to make that choice. I went with path A to begin with, and realized that that was not for me. So we adjusted the business to have a rental program instead of an employee based business, which was challenging because in my budget, I made plans to have employees. But turns out that that wasn't right for my business in the long run. So I had to make an adjustment to that. Now, I keep talking about a plan, have a plan, have a plan, have a plan. What does that mean? So I went to business marketing school. Not everybody has that access to a business, knowing how to do a business plan. I would highly recommend an online program called Live Plan. I am not getting any money from Live Plan for pitching this. I am just suggesting that there are online-based software programs that help you make business plans that are easy. And one of them is called LivePlan, liveplan.com. It does cost some money. I think you can do it for free for a while, the free trial for a while if you want to. But it's kind of based on designing a business plan around pitching it to an investor or a bank to get a loan for your bank. And not all of you may need or want to pitch anything to anybody. You might not need that, but and you might have been in business for a while and never had a business plan, and that's okay too. But you might want to consider going through the steps of what a business plan offers, because it helps exercise your business brain and thinking like a business owner. And some of us as massage therapists don't naturally think of ourselves as business people. We think of ourselves as massage therapists first. And yes, I have a massage therapy business and I am a business owner, but my strength is massage. I totally get that. But being able to flex the business side of your brain through these questions that Live Plan prompts you to think about helps you create a better business in the long run. It helps you make more money, helps you really focus on your costs, where you can cut costs, where you can where you should be spending money, where you shouldn't be spending money, what offerings you have that may not be making you any money. It actually might be costing you money, thinking about your break even point. So your break even cost is the cost of a massage. How much does it cost for each massage for you to make, and how many massages do you have to do for you to make your overhead costs, all your costs that are incurred in your business? So let's say you have $1,000 a month of expenses and your massage costs $100. I'm trying to make math really simple here. So your break even cost will be 10 massages per month at $100 each, right? To make that $1,000. So that, I want you to think about that, because if you don't make your 10 massages a month, now you're in the hole. But everything you do after that is gravy. It's extra. It's your money. It's what you make. So you need to think about that as you go into a rental situation. If you're renting a room or, renting a space, what's your break even cost? And Life Plan will help you think these things through. How many massages do you plan on doing? How does that affect your expenses? Because, if your price, if you decide to do a price cut for the month of January, because you don't have as much business, and now you're selling massages for, say, $75 a massage, that changes your equation. You need more than 10 massages now to make rent. And it walks you through, like, what's your goal for this business? Like, what is different? What makes your business different than other people's? And as a massage therapist, sometimes that is a difficult question to ask, especially in the beginning. But as you take more and more continuing education classes, as you develop your clientele list, as your clients refer other people to you, they will tell you what they like about you. They will tell you what that is. Your clients will. I mean, they did for me. So my clients will tell me, oh, my friend Susan also has knee problems, and you really helped me with my knee problems. So I asked Susan, or I told Susan about you, and I'm referring a client to you now. So now you can say, hey, I didn't even think of myself as a massage therapist to help fix knee problems, but that seems to be something that, my clients see me as. So that's an interesting perspective, something to think about. Gosh, what else? How do I keep striving for excellence? It's kind of a disease. I mean, to be honest, I just, I can't stop. It's like an addiction for me. I want to be the best. I want to continue to learn. And my goal is to be able to learn everything I can to help my client as best as I can with as much knowledge as I can gather. So in order to do that, I have to take a lot of classes. I have to ask a lot of questions. I have to process this information and be able to understand what they're talking about. And sometimes that takes some real research. People come in with unique situations. Every person is totally unique, and they might have a combination of healthcare problems that I'm not familiar with. Ask them, be upfront and honest with them. I always say, I've never heard this before. I need to go look it up. Is it contraindicated to do a massage with this? Have you gotten permission from your doctor? I just want to be clear on what it is you have. And if they say no, eczema is just dry skin, well, okay then. Then I should feel comfortable going ahead forward with the massage. But if you're not, it's okay to say that's beyond my scope of practice, because you don't want to hurt somebody, right? So that's how I strive for excellence, is continuous education and continuous desire to learn more about how to help my clients. That's what motivates me to continue on. Okay, so the last question is, what does self-care look like as an entrepreneur? So, you know, mind, body, and spirit, right? There's there's the three of the trifecta of what's going on in our world. And one of the things that I know, as a massage therapist, because you don't just practice, you practice what you preach, and you're getting massages regularly. This is such an important thing to do. I don't care if you don't want to or don't like it or don't have time. I'm sorry. This is number one of important for you, for your clients, for your business, for your mental and physical and spiritual health. I never get a massage from a massage therapist who doesn't get massages regularly. That's number one on my list. I will not go to see somebody who doesn't. Would you would you eat in the kitchen with a cook that never cooks or never eats? I guess is the question. I mean, would you want to be in a yoga class with somebody who doesn't practice yoga? Of course not. You learn in each massage, you learn something, and it might be what not to do, but get regular massages. Number one. The second thing I do is I talk to other massage therapists about what they do and how we can work together. So I network with people. I've joined some meetup groups with massage therapists that have, every time we meet up, we have a new subject we talk about. And sometimes it hits close to home and sometimes it doesn't, right? Just kind of like this podcast where this subject might not be something that you're interested in. So you move on to the next episode. So I do Pilates. I as my physical exercise, I go about 4 to 5 times a week. It has helped me really both in my business and in my personal life be able to have balance. I take out my anger in my Pilates classes. I've found that it's really helped me work more efficient and I'm stronger and healthier in my body and can work better on my clients and in my massage room because of Pilates. Pilates might not be right for you, but I have found that a lot of massage therapists like Pilates and Pilates likes massage therapy because we are copacetic. There are a lot of things that we talk about in Pilates, or my instructors talk about in Pilates, that is applicable to this or the same things that I tell my clients in the massage room. So that's good. I also take a yoga class, what I call sleepy time yoga, where it's just kind of a mental break from life. Like we go through a guided meditation usually. A lot of the time some of us will fall asleep. Sometimes I fall asleep. Sometimes I stay awake and just listen to her voice, listening to her talk about how we can shrink the mental monsters and overcome anything that we need to overcome in our mind, that we're strong and healthy. And so I think providing a way for you to channel your frustration out in some physical way is important, and also in a careful way, because you have to be very careful physically with your body and not get hurt. Before Pilates, I was trying 9 round boxing, and I was terrified every time I went in of getting hurt because these are my money makers. And if something happens to them, we would be in trouble. So I wasn't comfortable doing, the boxing, because the kickboxing and the boxing, because I was really afraid of injuring myself. And you have to be a little cautious about that because our jobs are very physically demanding. So we have to focus on the body, our own body, to continue to do what we're doing. Stretching is really important. There's so many things out there that you can do to stretch in between each client. We do a lot of stretching in Pilates. I don't mean to harp on Pilates, but it is my favorite thing in probably the whole world right now because it's really helped me. And it's something that, people can do well into their 90s. There's a person that comes to one of my classes. She's 94 years old. She was a doctor and she takes Pilates. And I want to be able to move my body and use my body for the rest of my life without pain. And in order to do that and do the job that I love, I have to build strength, and I have to build flexibility and control and balance and all those things that we talk about in our Pilates classes. So each of us has something that motivates us in life. Just talking to somebody who's opening a spa up, I'm actually going to be interviewing her on a future podcast episode. And she's opening up a spa in Florida for people who help, like caregivers, let's call them. The people that put themselves last, the people that put their sick child first, or their sick parent first, or their sick spouse first, or whoever, everybody else first for those people. And I love the fact that she's got this passion project to help these lovely people. But as one of those people, I want to share that you have to make a conscious effort to not put yourself last, to make yourself a priority in so many ways, physically, mentally, spiritually, right? So feed your soul. And if it's Pilates, if it's yoga, whatever it may be, do something that makes you happy, whether it's hiking in the woods or swimming in the ocean. Feed your soul so that you can have that clear mind and body going into your work, going into your business, and you can make clear decisions. I'm also a certified ergonomist, which means I can talk clearly about the ergonomics of working at a desk or working in any situation. And as a massage therapist, we all talk about body mechanics, the hot topic for us all the time. And the reason is because it saves us from hurting ourselves in the long run. Lots of us don't make it very far in this career because of injuries. We have back problems and neck problems and carpal tunnel and, all kinds of stuff that come up throughout our careers that sometimes are career breaking. And if you're in pain and you know that, working is exasperating that pain, use your knowledge of the body and use your connection. Make yourself a priority. It's okay. Your clients need to know that you're taking care of yourself because you're living the life that you're telling them they should do. You're practicing what you preach. And that's not easy. But if you do it, you're going to feel so much better about yourself and your job. And it's so much easier to tell somebody, hey, you really need to focus on yourself as number one, or maybe not number one, but at least higher up on the list than the bottom. And if you're practicing what you preach, which is what I like to talk about in my massages, is this is what I do to help me get through this hump, whatever that is. And instead of diagnosing people, which we don't want to do, or instead of providing like solutions to their healthcare problems, which again is a fine line, I like to say, well, I have this problem and this is what I do as a result of that. I have knee problems. I've gone to Pilates and it's really helped my strengthen all around the muscles all around my knees. And now I don't have knee problems anymore. That might be something you can look into doing. I'm not going to promise that it's going to fix your problem, but it helps me. Cupping also helps my knees. You know, there's another thing. Maybe sell them a set of cups and show them how to use them at home. I do that in my practice. But I think as we've gone through this pandemic, we've all learned a lot of patience. We've been scared. We've all had our issues, whether it's been, with masking or vaccinations or government laws or, client stress or family issues or sickness. I think if you've survived this pandemic and you're listening to this right now and your business has survived this pandemic, I want to congratulate you because we've made it. And it's an emotional thing to say and do, but good job. Because we've been through a lot. And no matter what your political views are or religious views, I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to say I'm proud of you. Hang in there. And my motivation might be different than your motivation, but continue to fuel the fire of what motivates you and continue to help others because the empathetic people in this world really need love. And I want to give you all a big hug. I want to thank you for being an empath and thank you for helping people and staying motivated and being there for others during a pandemic or not. Being empathetic and being loving and caring and helping people is important in this world. And you haven't gone unnoticed, in my opinion. A lot of people will thank the nurses and healthcare and, truck drivers and teachers. And I don't want to take anything away from them because they did great things throughout our pandemic and as we continue with life. But massage therapists, we've done that too. We've been empathetic. We've listened to people lose family members and be sick and have political strife. And I think that it's okay for you to be proud of your business and what you're doing in the world. You to do what you're doing. And I hope you have a lovely day. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me on the Handcrafted Therapy podcast. I would love to hear from you. You can email us at podcast@handcraftedtherapy.com, or you can come by the store. It's at 3303 North Central Expressway, suite number 240 in Plano, Texas, 75023. Or you can connect with me on social, Instagram, Facebook, #HandcraftedTherapy. I'm Julie Alexander, and I wish you a very happy and healthy day.